Corki is once
So,
again ignored.
I have seen these games, and Corki going to come up first. Corki going to be the first pick on Hanwha's side. So this leaves the Faker champion pool at Nico or Azir. He's opting for the Nico in this case, coming with the Callista.
Did already pick up POG on that, and this to me is T1 saying, you're picking Corki. You're
taking away Peanut's Vi. Peanut. Okay, so Xayah Rakan, obviously Delight Rakan, very famous. And Nocturne is a bit interesting to use with the Callista lane. Because you probably want a little bit more bot lane skirmishing and priority early. So no Udyr, no Cassante, top lane bans, no Rumble, no Renata Glass here for the Callista. Go ahead and take the Ashen Still. Still offers strong engage and lane presence. And the old blind Aatrox. Poppy, of course, the Peanut special. And we get Yone, which again, this is a very specific pick, top lane Yone to T1. They're basically the only team that does this in the LCK. But that's just because, you know, this is just the Xayah special. But feels bad, like, because you know this is always a possibility with him. And, you know, taking the Aatrox, kind of probably pretty frustrating to play into the Yone. You know, going to give you a lot of lane priority in your side lanes. Mid lane probably as well. I haven't seen a lot of the Nico Corki matchup, and that'll allow Owner kind of just to farm it out, and probably shadow lanes just a little bit to try and counter gank.
No, he doesn't. On this mid or MP. So rather,
just get to late and you'll
at all. And looking for some very nice team fights that are very tricky and annoying to deal with Nico Nocturne. Let's jump onto the rift for game number 1. Between Hanwha Life Esports and T1 always manages to bring us some fun games. We talk often about the D plus Kia versus Genji matchup. That brought us some fun games just yesterday in Saturday Showdown. But also Hanwha Life Esports and T1. Hanwha Life have oftentimes challenged them to a pretty high level.
So Corki obviously super high in priority, but spoiler, Zeka is completely terrible on Corki in this series.
I can't believe that was yesterday, because we the week as well, Valdez. After this, we're already done with week 2.
That's weird.
Isn't it weird?
It's already 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Where did they go? What happened during those weeks? Who am I?
Question we ask. Well, you are Brendan Valdez, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Who I am is up for debate
You know they're in that brush.
at this point, given the amount of renames.
Mr. Middlebrook.
Yeah.
So
this is Ash level 1.
They kind of.
Oh my god, and they get the ward.
This brush because otherwise you don't
Feels bad, man.
Minions, right? But you just take a bunch of poke damage and then you don't really get to step up to the minions either. So.
So already going as expected in the bottom side.
It's pretty important that he hits those just to give them a chance to stay alive in this lane. But Carry and Gumayusi were always going to be in that brush and get an advantage right from level 1.
Nice for Delight that he does actually hit the Q. The saving grace for the Hanwha bot lane is that the enemy jungler is Nocturne, whose early ganking is very mediocre. If this was a Poppy, I wouldn't be surprised if Owner went for like a red buff into early level 3.
Bro, Poppy's at 3 camps now.
Trying to maybe catch Viper in the light, because there is obviously a way.
But you don't hit level 3 off of Red Raptors Wolves.
With Nocturne, you just want a full
so has to do blue
6, and that's really the end
on this pathing before there's any threat into the top side. Ward already in the top side here.
A lead without any help, which given the matchup comes as no surprise, but definitely is going to be a little bit rough for Viper. But they shouldn't have come as a surprise, as Hanwha kind of opt into this the moment you go for Xayah Rakan against T1's bot lane specifically.
Yeah. And they had already.
So HLE knew what they were opting in for here, leaving the Ashe up. It's something that we haven't seen a lot. Peanut actually doubling back after blue buff now.
See already CS being pretty rough. The poke is coming down. They already have a turret plate as well. And they know exactly where Peanut was just a moment ago. And the question mark ping comes down onto him right as he hits the Krug.
That's insane. I knew his Poppy was good. I didn't know it was that insane.
Oh, yeah. 91% win rate.
Oh, he has a 91% win rate on Poppy. I didn't even know that. 20-2? Holy shit. I mean, I love this guy's Poppy, but that is crazy.
91% win rate. He's only lost twice in the LCK, ever.
Absolutely remarkable. That is. Oh, hey!
By the way.
But this is way less games, right? Like
Yeah.
this is still.
But Owner's Lee Sin is the one where.
I'm the biggest Poppy fan.
Fair, actually.
Yeah.
That's not cool. You
Both
can't
of
do
these
that.
players win a lot, so it turns out.
They have, yeah, I mean, they've been the most winningest over the last
I mean, his
few years,
pathing is a
by
little
large margin.
wonky here. Guys, remember, he goes blue all the way to Krugs. I guess he's just trying to cover to see if there's a tower dive.
Ganking
And trying to get vision on the top side.
This is, of course, a Corki, so don't think you're going to get a lot out of it.
Ward placed here by Zeus right now. He's checking camps. Doesn't see anybody up there.
It's not, yeah, they're just.
Ward placed in by the Nocturne.
Anything but the large margin as well.
Oh, no, I guess that was Faker's ward.
By the way, these
That's the Faker ward from the start of the game. The classic Faker ward.
I mean,
It's not, yeah, there just isn't really realistically a way where you get anything but a flash. And I think
Why do I think Zeka has Hail of Blades? Because he probably is really garbage at playing Corki in lane and needs whatever help he can get.
Viper still
That's
not
my
having
theory,
the best
guys.
of time. Fortunately, this is a cannon wave, so he'll be able to get this. And when it comes to XP, I don't think he's as far behind, although the light's about to hit level 4, which doesn't bode well for Viper.
yeah.
And they don't actually get plate
Oh,
gold
good.
there.
Just natural 16 CS as the waves crash equally there. So it's a bit of a problem. Zeka's doing a great job in the 1v1 here. He's going to force Faker to back. I mean, Faker does have TP, and Zeka already did. So at the end of the day, not too big of a deal. It is Corki after all. We're not going to be looking for huge gaps or plays or anything like that in this lane.
Actually,
Yeah, Hail of Blades might be picked up with Triforce builds, but, you know, that hasn't been the build that we've been seeing. It's like been Tyr, Muramana, Malignance, Eclipse, sometimes with a Hex Drinker thrown in there.
Is the one that
So.
really feels notoriously unfair when you get to mid to late game. Hail of Blades, the early laning phase, particularly the first 6 levels, I think are going to feel really tough to deal with. As we only see, I think it's, yeah, 2
Yeah, the 2 takeaway there.
being taken.
Void
That's-
Gentleman.
Yeah, it's the only thing that matters so that Hamalife can't possibly get 6. T1 probably doesn't care. I mean,
And it doesn't really slow
it's
it
not
down
terrible
is
to have the Void Grubs here, but clearly they're going to focus bot side with the
no
Callista.
rush. Trying to get there as soon as possible as a suspicious minion.
So want to have the Dragon stacking advantage and just eliminate the threat of a possible 6 Void Grub for Hanwha Life.
They go into the river.
They do actually sometimes, yeah.
Go fishing, you know.
Fishing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Catch like 5 fish, hand it into the quest giver. It's generally the way it goes.
Kind of fish.
Carp.
Carp.
Yeah.
I figured Summer's River more of a
No.
more of a trout.
There's also salmon in there.
Ah, okay.
You know, it's kind of weird. Peanuts here. This is a ocean drake first, which is quite nice.
How could there be salmon in Summoner's Rift? The river is not actually a river, it's a lake. It doesn't go to the ocean. So how would salmon go to the ocean and then come back? They can't. Because the river is a lie, guys. The river is just a long lake. It's actually 2 lakes. So there can't be salmon here.
And would help T1 put on even more pressure in the lanes. And they will be able to pick it up. Doesn't look like Life Esports really want to fight this, although Peanut does go in for a little break the wrist and walk away, but it's not going to work as level 6 is Owner, and he's looking for blood, and he will have it. First blood. Really
Did he hit 6 off Drake? Oh my god, that's so unlucky.
Does go in for a little break the wrist and walk away, but it's not going to work as level
Peanut
6
thinks he's fine.
is
Owner
and he's
maintains
looking for
tether.
blood, and he will have it.
Damn.
First blood goes to
Very
Owner.
decisive by
He says,
T1.
well, you can't block this, Peanut.
And Peanut cannot, for a fact, block that. Completely unnecessary there to go in, because they were clearly backing off already. And
He didn't know
the
that.
crucial thing there was that Owner had already hit 6.
The Owner hit 6 off of killing the Drake.
Actually being,
He didn't know that.
Or rather, having the paranoia available there, I think, is what really freed Peanut up. I don't think he was expecting his opponent to already be level 6, because this is actually really early. If you look at the rest of the map as well, right? being able to pick it up this early.
How did Tether not break? Because you can actually flash follow people with Tether and it won't break.
Got the dragon was enough to get him that ultimate available, and Peanut has to pay for it with his life. So far, all according to plan for T1, picking up the early lead, which they need. They really do. So it's good, but also a necessity. That was a bit
close. Nearly stopped both of their backs. And the auto goes all the way back into the fountain. Take another look here. Owner hits level 6 on the Drake, which is why, I guess, they supposed he wouldn't be 6.
I mean, this is a really early point for the Nocturne to be.
But this is a classic Peanut moment too. I mean, this is just being Poppy, by the way.
Both of their backs.
You see the wall bang,
All the way back
and you just feel like you have to go for it.
into the fountain. Take another look here.
Like you get so excited about the wall bang,
Why, I guess, they supposed he
and you don't know that the Nocturne has level
I mean, this
6,
is a really
and
early
then you
point
can't
for the
escape.
Nocturne to be 6, right? But yeah, Peanut takes the risk and gets promptly punished. We will now see Owner take up the final grub.
I'm a bit surprised by the passivity of Peanut in the early game on this Poppy. Yeah, he was really concerned with like counter ganking the Nocturne,
Not looking too bad.
and was very concerned with where the Nocturne might be and preventing the dive. But he had a very slow early pathing as a result. He was kind of running back and forth across the map, and that's what allowed Nocturne to get a CS in level advantage.
Got his ult back as well. So you would imagine getting some Ultimate Hunter stacks, get that one, and just try to get back out on the map as soon as possible. We got to dive in top.
Yeah, he's normally super aggressive as Poppy,
Doran doesn't really care
so
about
it's a
that
little
too
bit
much as
interesting.
in goes Faker looking for the knockup. Flash coming in. This is the second Nocturne and the Ash Arrow as well. You gotta be kidding me as the damage will come in. And that is much as in just try to get back out on the map as soon as possible. We gotta dive in top.
The Ash Arrow combo is just so disgusting. The carry also happens to be closer because he's just at the Dragon Pit.
About that too much as in goes Faker into Doran. Doran doesn't really care.
Oh, he Valks in. He Valks in even though he knows Nocturne ult is up. Then he wastes his flash, and he gets hit by everything. Jesus, Zeka! Have you no respect, sir? Have you no respect for crowd control and Nocturne ult?
It wouldn't have been enough. You actually saw Owner taking a lot of damage there. Zeka was doing such a good job in the 1v1.
Zeka is such a bum. Hey, remember when I said that after Worlds and I called him a patch Zerg and everybody told me I was wrong and he was so fucking amazing? Even though they didn't watch Zeka the whole year and there was no reason to believe that his form would continue. And if Zeka's so fucking good, why is he not playing Akali on the patch where Akali is good? Why has he not played one Akali game? One.
But the flash and Zeus does get away.
Why has he not played one fucking Akali game
I think he had a third Q buffer there.
this year?
If he didn't have that, he didn't make a little jump over the wall. Could have been the end of him. Doran definitely punishing nicely as...
Then why isn't he even playing the champions he's good at? Showmaker's bopping people with Silas. Other people are fucking playing Akali.
He doesn't even watch. He's like, okay,
Not even a nice...
I need to push Viper and delay back. I don't care about mid lane. Like, they can get my arrow. It's fine.
Who cares? I don't need it.
I need to dominate my lane. And you know what? Went back and started pushing them back in. This plate is not going to be...
Coach thing, maybe. Hashtag fuck Dandy.
Curious here.
So the good thing for Hanwha is that any mistake from T1 will get them back in the game. They have still an incredible amount of scaling, and this is a effectively close to melee comp into Corki, Poppy, and the Zaya, but simultaneously, Zeka rather also didn't really.
That's such a
go in
huge
necessarily.
lead
That was actually started with
at 11 minutes.
same the way
2.5K.
Peanut. And if you're an Akali, you know, I'll probably get away with that one. If you're a Corki and your main goal is just getting to your Malignance, your Eclipse, and your Mana Moonade, then it doesn't really fulfill your objective. Wave clear is good though, so no dive going to be available here for the bot lane of T1, but Second Drake seems inevitable at this point.
Yeah. And the Nocturne it's one of these champs that snowballs so hard, you start getting more and more stacks. His ult is up already, and he clears the jungle so quickly. He's up to like 90 CS.
I can't believe they wasted blue side first pick on fucking Zeka's Corki. They could have had a different prio champ, guys. They could have had the Callista and just changed their pick and ban. Given Zeka a calling, Faker will play Azir, I promise you.
In fact, was owner's first kill. So Peanut
How do you decide the bangers? Well, I use my brain, and I decide that which are the most important matches because I know the world of League of Legends very well.
That's what ends up killing him in the end. But the Peanut one, that is definitely...
And I look at kind of what was picked in those games and see if there's anything interesting going on, if there are any interesting upsets or big wins or matches between top teams.
Trade of ultimates. And the threat on the bottom side and the fact that Viper and Delight basically...
It's not a banger. It's an important game, though, C9 Shopify Rebellion, because C9 lost and because there were some weird things that happened.
It is just going to be T1.
You are the banger. Oh, thank you, that guy who games.
When they're already pretty far ahead.
Yeah, definitely subpar for Hanwha Life. We're probably looking at maybe a Chemtech angle. Not gonna be
Are my sub badges working? Because they don't look like they're working to me.
Oh, we got a TP coming in, trying to make a play. Meanwhile, Smite a wave on the Bubs as they're trying to get all 6. Kuma still has flash, but he's charmed up, and he's just going to hold on to it. So nice play here from Hanwha Life Esports.
Because they still look like stars to me. Do they look different to you?
6 Void Bubs in the hands of T1, though. And they could use that to just put on more pressure.
Some working, some not. All right, fair enough.
Cross map is all right, but definitely a big win for Hanwha. It gets gold into the pockets of Viper,
Fucking hell.
who was one of the members that was really put down by this.
All right, well, maybe it just takes a while.
Big weakness of these style of lanes, particularly as we get into the mid to late game.
Looks like Laurel Wreaths. Okay, some of you are seeing it. All right, some of you are seeing the Laurel Wreaths. Good, good. We're getting there.
Doesn't slip too far because if they can maintain,
They work when you refresh the dream.
2 3K gold deficit.
Thank you.
It's not going to be the end of the world. But really, I think the hardest part is going to come when we get to post 20 minutes. Because that's when you know...
All right, yes, I see them now. We did it. Sorry I'm bad at streaming.
Then choke out vision around Baron, and then you have 2 options. Either you walk in...
Did I see Bo's Rift Herald usage today? No, we're going to watch that game later.
And if you don't, then you probably lose Baron because it's T1, and they love Baron. And if you do, you need to be ready for the Yone, Nico, and Nocturne that are going to dive your backline.
Yeah. Ash Arrow, Fate's Call. Just adding
There's a
some more
lot.
stuff in terms
There's
of
a lot,
engage.
yeah.
Not necessarily...
So Hanwha Life desperately trying not to give up the entire fucking map.
For sure.
Zeka is eating a honey fruit on the bottom side.
There's a
More
lot.
stuff in terms
There's a
of
lot,
engage.
yeah.
Not necessarily backline access, but
He needs mana, guys.
it is going to be a lot of threats for
He needs
sure.
mana.
Zeka does not have the package. He is bottom lane. He has TP, but...
Go.
This guy doesn't give a
They
fuck.
say, okay, we're scaling. We're going to hunker down for the long winter. And maybe we can get Corki to 3 items. That's got to be their goal at this point.
Corki and Zaya. Just give him enough time.
Well, thank
Eventually
Catan
they'll make it
Talas.
work. And
Making the great
especially
sub
if the
badges.
T1 comp, this holds true, but I mentioned the Baron already. The second big problem, which is definitely more immediate, is in about 2.5 minutes, which is a possible soul point
Yeah.
at like 17 minutes, meaning that you're going to have to fight for soul at 20. 2, but that's not, that's still not great. It's not where you want to be, ideally.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. T1 have definitely done a good job of keeping the pace of this game up. Kind of just led by owner ultimates, essentially. Arrow is going to be shot on in. Doesn't hit Doran. Carry is here. Not sure about the Ashe gank, but at least can stop the back.
Who did T1 lose to other than Gen G? Nobody.
Giving his top lane
They lost a
little
game to
bit of,
KT earlier this week, but that was it.
lead up on that top side. Maybe can do some damage to that top turret.
Already won mid, trying to win top as well. Doran doesn't have TP though, and this is the one prize that they do have to pay for the play towards bot side. Zayas might have an opportunity here, especially with the 6 little Kevins biting away at the turret. Not going to be the difference maker, but I just like acknowledging that they exist. It's gonna be
Yeah,
first blood here for T1.
getting everything this game is so crazy. Like, this has been such a failure of Hanwha Life's early game that Peanut was not able to accomplish anything. They lost both Drakes. Okay, they're playing a Kalista comp, but they didn't do anything with the early gank pressure of Poppy, right? They got chunked out level 1. Top lane was lost. Top lane turrets down. They got all 6 Void Grubs, and they got Herald. Hanwha literally lost 5 objectives in the first 16 minutes of this game.
The question is, was it still worth to get that kill on Guma? They got a dragon as well. Could have been, but losing that topside turret and putting Zeus this far ahead this early on is definitely a big problem.
Yeah, and I am curious to see how Hanwha Esports is going to fight these 5v5s that they need to. I mean,
yeah, maybe a, what, 22-minute, 23-minute soul?
Great, but as you mentioned, the very,
thanks so much for foreplay. It's an incredible podcast. Yeah, more people should watch that podcast. It's so good, if I do say so myself.
Is Zeka going to have, is he only going to have Malignance by that point? It's another question asked, because can they realistically fight? I'm not so sure about that. T1.
I mean, I think Void Grub's going to be very strong. T1 is actually a very good team about using Void Grubs. If you have a split pushing Yone, they fucking rule. You know, if you're sieging a turret with a Kalista, they're probably not great.
Their chain CC is really, really strong. Between Doran and particularly Delight and Peanut, there is a lot of team fighting power there. The problem is that because all your lanes are so far behind, actually getting prio is basically impossible. As
really good job by Owner. Just immediately into the next one. Oh, he's trolling, actually. Never mind. Loses flash.
Right before the Drake. Maybe having a little bit too much fun with that Rift Herald.
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't know where Peanut was or if they got caught off guard by the interaction there, but technically Owner flying through the air as he gets knocked off of Herald is a dash. So Poppy gets to press Stefan's presence, and this could be a crucial breaking point. If Hanwha Live deny this dragon to T1 and somehow delay the timer by 5 minutes, that could be all the time they need, but they don't have that much setup. Their own vision control on their own jungle is decent. They don't have a lot of control on the other side.
I mean, take a look at this. The 1v1 is getting out of hand right now. Doran, he has to pop World Ender just to stay alive, just to run. And the rest of the team here in the 4v4 trying to set up. Zeka does have the package, but the lights are off. And where is Faker coming from is the question. He goes in onto the Poppy. Faker does not commit. Now he goes in a massive 3-man ultimate. He gets the Feather Storm, and Yone is here. Zeus gets in from behind. He is going to be isolated, though. Nicely done. And it was actually the dragon going the way of Hanwha.
Oh my god. Are we just walking into Nico roots? Viper's still so good, man. All right, so let's talk about what happens here. Hanwha Life is trying to take this Drake because they have package, but there's no actual time in which to try and get some poke down first. And so they just get hit by a million volleys. Yone's going to TP first because Aatrox needs to go heal from that engagement. So Yone actually gets in. Poppy gets ulted. And Kalista gets ulted out, right? Kalista gets ulted out by Poppy. So temporarily, this is a 4v4. Aatrox is going to TP himself into the back line. Faker gets a 3-man ult. Corki package is used. Zeus comes in. He just gets rooted. Does nothing and dies. Has to ult out. So kind of troll TP from Yone there. And Faker actually just completely saves this fight.
And he wins the fight for the team.
And T1
as behind, Faker coming from is the question. He goes in onto the Poppy. Faker does not commit. Now he...
Oh yeah, Viper dodged that with ult. You guys are right. Viper dodged the Faker ult. Gets the feathers down. That's actually huge. Viper's so good, man. Why is Zeka flashing? Why is Zeka flashing forward? What the fuck does he think Corki does with this build? He has Manamune and like some pieces of the Malignance right now. Viper is so good, guys. All you had to do. Why are we flashing? Hey guys, did we get the Drake? Did we get the Drake? Corki. He has a spell shield. What the fuck are you going to do? Oh, you're just going to get everybody rooted? I guess you baited Faker into this so Viper could get a kill.
And T1, they further
like, just poke people, Corky.
Keeps the game within touching distance because Peanut actually got the dragon. That is really big.
I mean, they're still really far behind.
Won't be enough. We can see the team fight here. Crucial is that Faker draws a lot of attention, but they're also very aware that he initially was there. So instead, they wait for the damage to come through. By the time Faker goes in, he does do a lot, but because there is no Kalista at this point in time, there isn't enough damage. So Zeus gets focused down quickly, and then that flash from Zeka. If you have 3 items, you can get away with that. Not right now, but fortunately for Hanwha Light, Viper has been...
He doesn't even have a Muramana when this fight starts, guys.
As well to ensure that he's actually able to walk up,
he still doesn't have a Muramana. There, now he has it.
Kills on Viper, and 5 more minutes added to the clock. This game not broken open just yet.
Viper's here to win. I mean, the way he played that team fight was actually perfect. Like,
Viper's so fucking good, man.
When Faker came in, dodged the first issue. Then he pulled back the feathers perfectly onto Yone.
No, Doran did okay. He's actually okay in this series. It's Zeka who is terrible. And the thing is, at this level of play, you cannot have Zeka be this bad and still win games. Even if the rest of your team is playing just fine, which they were. I mean, we can quibble about Peanut's early pathing and his like lack of effectiveness early on Poppy to take advantage of a early game power spike for Poppy, but, you know, he wasn't inting.
From Viper, he is here to win. For sure. Zeka has built his second item.
It's starting already, right?
It's getting close.
And as you highlighted, the only one that can reliably tank these is Owner with Spell Shield. The one issue that we do see, though, even though that team fight didn't really end up being a match, we saw just before then, is that Zeus is not matched. Like, no one can match this Yone. Zeka can wave clear pretty reliably, but if he ever gets caught, he's obviously dead. Doran is down a level, and this matchup does not get any better from here on out, so he really needs to respect. His team fighting looks great there, a lot of sustain with the Profane Hydra, but that alone not going... Oh, there we go.
Stuck around. The ult is used by Zeus, but Doran does dodge quite a lot. Has to deal with this Unbound Soul as the Q3 comes through. Doran getting
yikes, even though he missed ult, he still did that much damage to Doran during ult. During Doran's ult.
Zeus doesn't even have a second item yet, and he still lost that.
Sorry, reading the new Emily Wilson Odyssey translation. Thanks to your recommendation. Cool. Glad you're enjoying it.
And that puts more pressure on Delight and Peanut to actually be able to go in aggressively. And I think, in general, Hanwha Life, they're going to have to reach the point where they're just going to look for fight after fight after fight. Because tanky damage here.
I mean, you might as well. It doesn't look like he's really being threatened by Doran right now. So if you actually begin to get kill pressure with some of these offensive items rather than the defensive counterparts, you're going to like your position. You're going to like... Yeah, they're just going to start it. This is the way that T1 functions. And they will look to turn if necessary. Carry trying to hold the door here for the...
An anonymous gifter gave Long Panda a tier 1 sub. I don't think Long Panda is watching this stream.
Is going to knock away the Nocturne.
But that is hilarious, anonymous gifter. Long Panda the legend, the worst top laner to exist in Korean history. Never forget the Panda note.
Taken care of there by Hanwha Life, and even get a little bit mid-prior here. See if they're able to do more than just that. And I think in the 1v1, this build from Zay is going to be absolutely ludicrous. We already see that Doran is really struggling, even with the Edge of Night now finished. On the flip side, though, this T1 comp doesn't really have engaged. Their only engage is Owner, turning off the lights, and then obviously the Ash Arrow, but I think realistically...
So we don't count Rocket Belt, Nico ult, and Flash as an engage.
Unless you're already starting a fight.
Okay, I'm just gonna talk about this for a second. So first off, arguably, Nocturne plus Nico ult is some of the strongest engage in the game. You also have Kalista ult, and you have a conditional engage with Ash Arrow. I'm gonna go ahead and say T1 has a lot of engage. That's how I personally would characterize this composition.
Burst down a single target, but like looking at Hanwha Life, I feel like it's really hard to use that because you have Corki was W, Rakan, which is self-explanatory.
I mean, they have way more engaged than Hanwha does. Hanwha has Rakan ult. And like maybe Aatrox flanking, but they literally just have Rakan ult. That's their only form of engage. They have lots of peel, Hanwha, because they're trying to play around Corki poke.
He's not gonna get in, but he flashes anyway. And he puts that flash on cooldown. At least Atlas is happy, but everybody else on the side of Hanwha Life Esports is not. T1 gonna take down that dragon extremely fast.
As there is the package now. Was Faker a Callista
That was a
Ghost?
Callista Ghost, yeah.
Corki package engage.
And now Hanwha Life Esports.
I mean, if
start the back.
Zeka uses it like that, I think he's going to have a bad time.
Say, okay, you used a bunch. Here comes a very interesting ghost. And now Hanwha Life Esports, they're going to start the
They
back.
have package.
They have package.
I did not know Faker could become a Callista Ghost. Also, what the fuck is going on here?
They say, okay, you used a bunch. Here comes a very interesting ghost.
The game doesn't know what to do with this information, guys. Faker broke the game again.
Let's see if he gets on in. They got to pull the trigger on this one, and Faker is looking for
Ah, it's casual. Man, if only they had engage. Shit. Faker just casually flashes in for a 5-man ultimate. Zeus starts ulting and then gets rooted by Xayah. Yone is here, guys, and he's helping. He literally misses everybody and just gets rooted by Viper. Did Viper actually get stunned, or did Viper ult? No, he actually did get stunned. He ults right afterwards. And then the follow-up actually from Doran there. And Peanut's really good because Peanut gets the knock-up with his ultimate. And Viper is still there in the back line, gets roots down. So as good as that looked, is just kind of like Yone did 411 damage. Because he missed his ult. And Doran just has everybody slamming them with his Q. N.A. Alistar, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Because look at this. Doran comes in, just starts slamming people. So it's like Poppy knockup, roots from Viper, Aatrox knockup. Good job by Zeus, though. Classic. Corki 0 damage. So why is it, tell me guys, why is it that Zeka, who has flash up, cannot dodge Nico ults? Thank you, Shobes, to the bits. Classic Corki. 0 damage in a fight. Well, why? Like, I get that Faker plays this well, right? But this guy is on the edge, and he can package or flash. Like, you can't die to a Nico ult like that at the professional level when you have flash and package up. You know, the scary thing is that this could have been completely bonkers for Hanwha Life. Like, they could have saved Corki, they could have gotten Baron afterwards, they could have cleaned up other members.
And Viper goes untouched again. Oh, Carrier might be in trouble here. He's just going to walk past the tension.
Nocturne Nico is unreactable. I mean, that's true. This is the power. This is why people don't let people have this combination. But at the same time, guys, let me just ask you a question. When the lights go out and there's a Nico, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Like, just preemptively package out. You can package out this way.
And now Guma trying to hop away. That is going to be the end of that fight as T1, they take the lifeboat out of there. Real ghosts or not, it's real. And nobody's going to...
So she's going to sit on my face. Nico's going to sit on your face. That's an interesting fetish you got there. It's a lot of, like, lizard tail or whatever in your face, you know?
Viper, again, goes untouched. Hanwha Life actually doing a stellar job.
Maybe she can tickle your junk with her tail as she's sitting on your face.
Over the wall into the Ash Arrow. Very, very funny. And it looks initially like T1 has the setup. 5-man knock up. Owner into the back line. Zeus is there. But then the amount of burst that comes from that
he just gets rooted and then bouncy house to death.
Absolutely huge.
What stream is this?
Really continue forward as T1. They do deny the Baron though, which is a big win.
You know what you get when you come here.
Remains very even as Doran. Edge of Night coming up huge again.
You get the Yord hole.
He's at the most damage in the game.
It helps when everybody jumps into one little tiny circle.
Tiny circle.
And he's right there.
But he's hitting that circle, Valdez.
The circle, yeah. No, it was great. It was well played. But again, T1 really, they indexed into, okay, we've got to kill Zek 100%. And they threw everything into him. But you got to remember that Hanwha Life Esports have so many threats. With Viper, with Doran especially.
Zeus is still 1,600 gold up.
Yeah. I mean,
very funny.
A lot of members on the side of T1 are up. The only person who is not is Guma, and that's because Viper has gotten so much gold from just getting a bunch of kills.
But we are about to, as we said at the beginning of the game, we are about to approach the point where Zeka is going to become so much more of a problem than he is right now. Once Eclipse is done, he's going to continually be able to completely... At the same time, though, we are seeing that Eclipse him with an ultimate and Viper dies.
I mean, the fact is Hanwha Life's gotten lucky because Zeus was pretty useless on that engage. If Zeus hits that ult, then just over.
Just runs at Yode. What is that?
That's be the end of it. But Viper...
Why does he use his flash? He asks for this fight. Zeka's the one who preempts this. And he's like, uh-oh, I'm getting ulted. And then he panic flashes. Oh my god. This guy is so fucking bad.
You're not a Kali, man. You can't do that. That's a fat Yone. You're the big carry. You can't die.
Well, they needed him, and now T1 are like, oh, we can take a free Baron, okay. And that is going to get this teleport out of Doran. Can they actually get in here a little bit later from Faker, but he has Death Cap. Okay. He's ready for the engage if they want to go for the turn. Peanut looking for the knockback, looking for the bonk. He doesn't see anything as in goes Zeus, and he dies immediately as well. Owner getting into the backline just gets blown up as they do take out Doran, but this is potentially a win for Hanwha Life Esports. They stop the Baron.
TP coming in from Corky.
He has to go into that Feather Storm. Not much of a follow-up here on a Peanut.
Peanut's fine. He's super tanky.
T1 is already running away.
Peanut actually just entirely saves this fight, by the way. He entirely saves this Baron. Gets rid of Keria. So it's actually a 4 versus 4 now. Nocturne ult goes down. W on Zeus. And come on, Zeus. Are you serious? Zeus doesn't even have ult because he used it to kill Corky.
As they do take out Doran, but this is potentially a win for Hanwha Life Esports. They stop the Baron, and now TP's coming in. Viper, he has to go into that Feather Storm. Not much of a follow-up here on a Peanut.
Peanut plays this so well.
Rockets, but T1 is already running away.
Ooh, still a win for Hanwha though. They're able to deny the Baron attempt, even with Zeka making a very questionable play. But T1 in 15 seconds.
Poppy is such a great design champ. Agreed, Stuntman Stan. Such a great champ. Love Poppy.
The W is not fast enough. You can't do that against Zeus.
Poppy #1 champ.
Really a colossal error, which leads to this situation. This cancel from Doran, absolutely huge. Faker tries to go in for the play. This cancel from Doran, absolutely huge. Faker tries to go in for the play, but he's not allowed to pass. Thanks to this.
Nice job from Doran, yeah.
Look at live. I mean, this is Delight's trying to make a play here.
W again, right on top of Callista and Faker. Hello.
Delight's trying to make a play here. They're trying to get on top of Faker, and he is going to live. I mean, this is Delight's trying to make a play here. They're trying to get on top of Faker, and he is going to be isolated now.
Peanut, the real hero.
It's not going to work. There's a lot of sticks in this dragon. Can they actually get it down, though? Is the question as Zeus is going 1v4 in the backline. He takes out Saya, and they get the Infernal Cortez. It's going 1v4.
All right, he finally was in a team fight, so it's over.
Doran was not in the fight at all. He didn't have TP. And the TP advantage is going to be.
So is the rest of the team just super good in carrying Zeka? They're playing bottom teams. This was their first hard game, guys. This was Hanwha's first hard game. And, like, Zeka is good enough that he's not going to be a liability against bad teams. But when he has to play against very good mid laners, it's going to be a problem. Especially because Showmaker looks better right now. So, like, BDD, Faker, and Showmaker are all better than him.
Instead, they get Infernal Soul.
It blocks Rocket Belt. Yeah, he rocket belts. That's what gets W'd, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it was rocket belt. You can see it here.
With them immediately taking down Faker, so much of the combat power not being available there.
Just watch.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, this is what I want to see. Go slow, he says. Below. I got him. Go.
Super nice stun. That's finally a good team fight from Zeus.
Well, that's the Smith's top laner at Worlds. And you get to see his POV right here at the LCK. He's asking if they can end, actually. That's kind of a bit...
Still doesn't have... It's 30 minutes into the game. This Corki still does not have Eclipse.
Which they do. So now Infernal Soul, and he was already fed, but now he's even more fed and has Infernal Soul.
You know what'd be crazy, guys? What if Corki had Flash?
They have to flash it down. On a Peanut, as Zeka, he wants to hit some rockets, but T1 is already...
But Corki doesn't have Flash because of this.
That is us. Thanks to this Aatrox.
We gotta look at live. I mean, this is Delight's trying to make.
So now Corki doesn't have Flash for the critical team fight.
Trying to frontline for the team, it's not gonna work. There's a lot of sticks in this dragon.
So he gets hit by Ash Arrow.
Actually get it down though is the question. As Zeus is going 1v4 in the backline, he takes out Saya, and they get the Infernal.
Then they just get double tapped by Yone, re-engage.
And they have to flash away from this one. Doran was not in the fight at all. He did.
Hanwha could have been a difference maker, but a fight that looks like it starts off so well with them immediately taking down Faker, so much of the combat power not being available there.
Just watch.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, this is what I want to see. Go slow, he says. Below. I got him. Go. Unbelievable.
That's okay, guys. Doran's finally here. Also, I mean, Doran just wasn't there for this fight. You know, Doran wasn't there.
Yes, Faker goes down and able to keep up. It almost not allowed to pass thanks to this.
Because he TP'd into this other fight.
I mean, this is,
so I just don't have summoners. Zeus has TP up, able to TP from base.
Trying to frontline for the team, it's not going to work. There's a lot of sticks in this dragon.
Peanut has no ult.
Get it down though is the question. As Zeus is going 1v4 in the backline, he takes out Saya, and they get the Infernal Cortez. It's going 1v4. We'll take out Delight as well.
And Hanwha Life were able to keep up. It almost looked like that was the moment where they finally turn it around, but instead they didn't get the soul. Just the Baron alone could have been a difference maker, but instead they get Infernal Soul, they get the Baron, and for Hanwha Life, a fight that looks like it starts off so well with them immediately taking down Faker, so much of the combat power.
It's kind of a bit much. And has Infernal Soul. Faker in a weird spot here. As Arrow's gonna come in, do they have the damage? He has to flash.
Forces flash, okay.
Might take away from their engage potential.
After seeing this new roster, I'm like, finally, Viper is freed. He's truly unleashed, and I don't think outside of the one mistake that.
Just look at the scoreboard.
Okay, but Endurance
30
and
minutes,
Peanut's defense,
no
I actually think
eclipse.
they've been playing well. I don't think they're the problem. There is, however,
He is playing out of his mind.
Zeus maybe a little bit too ham, but he is Yone, so he just gets to do whatever he wants. This is the way the champ works. Doran here with the tonight.
Super weird. He didn't even blow Viper's ult.
But T1 playing a pretty
still
balanced.
no eclipse either.
He
But
just got
I don't even know if it's going to matter.
He just got it. He just got it. The kiting is coming in. The feather's gonna root down Keria. And now let's see if Zeka can hit some rockets. Yep.
He has no rockets.
That's one of them. Okay. And Keria says, "I am going to leave now."
He has
But
no
it's
rockets.
too late. Even us, Corky enjoyers, gotta admit that if the turrets already start falling.
More like a Corky respecter, okay? I don't exactly enjoy this gameplay.
I was being sarcastic, fellas. Don't you worry.
Okay, nice.
I'm glad we got to clarify that. I don't think it's enough. Base at this point is in shambles. There's no map control, and you're going to need a truly Herculean engage from Delight and Peanut, taking down, at this point, probably Zeus. It's probably the guy that you need to get.
Yeah.
And he's a Yone who I'm pretty sure is about to finish his GA. I don't know if he has it yet. He was already building towards it. Has shield bow as well.
It's only he and Viper that are at 15,000 gold. Guma's not that far behind.
Death Stance, actually.
Yeah. That sounds pretty good.
Oh, it's a great item. I'm just was expecting him to go for GA, but instead.
No, he can't do anything.
A lot of extra tankiness for the.
It's still Zeka on Corky. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think it's pretty worthwhile, especially the way that these team fights play.
Faker has arm guard now. How do you ever kill him?
A lot of burst damage potential on the side of Hanwha Esports can mitigate some of that. 1,000 gold. The difference at this point in time. They have Infernal Soul as well, which is like, I don't even know. What's the value of an Infernal Soul? Like 5,000 gold?
It's
6,000?
Some of it like that, but also it scales with, like, look at the characters that they have.
Yeah.
It's if you have like a bunch
based on comp, of course.
Yeah, but in this case, like you have a fat Yone, a fat Nocturne, and Nico with Death Cap. No, he's the guy that's like in the back.
Has been
what anime?
So here comes the Elder fight.
What anime?
Yeah. In which anime is he the background dancer?
It's like in a performance. There's no, but I know about performances.
Okay, okay.
A little bit. This arrow, let's see. No, just gonna sail wide. Kind of. If that catches Zeka, he is
was
dead.
like, oh.
Yeah, he is absolutely dead if that hits him. Also, if he got within range of Zeus as well, he was also dead.
So the one thing you need to make sure now of ST1 is do not flip Elder. Everything else is fine. You can just have Zeus
Here we go.
side lane and bait them
Time
in,
for Zeka to
and
show
let
us
that
his
be the end
big
of it.
package.
You do actually have a lot of control around the pit, so I think your re-engages should definitely be a possibility. Yeah, the minimap is not liking
Something's
Faker
going on.
being a little spooky ghost.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway. It's just really funny. Hanwha Esports.
Yeah, don't
I had no idea before this game that you could turn into Callista Sentinel.
Really well as well. Not as well as Corky, but decently well. So now it's going to come through, and Hanwha Esports say, okay, we're calling your bluff. Let's see if you can do it. Let's see if you can get on in here. They're going to get on top of Zeka again. He's dead. And that's the end of the
Another death where he has package and flash up.
Esports say, okay, we're calling your bluff.
He didn't learn from the last time the Nocturne. He sees it.
Get on in here. They're going to get on top.
He sees it.
Okay, we're calling your bluff. Let's see if you can do it. Let's see if you can get.
He sees it.
Get on top of Zeka again. He's dead. And that's the end of the Corky. That ultimate, that was very unfortunate. And this goes the way.
Wait.
Okay, Viper. Do they get it? Viper. He's frontline. Again, he's
Guys,
not as well as Corky,
I do not care. I know what you're saying. Most of it is invisible.
Say, okay, we're calling your bluff.
I know what you're talking about. But he sends out the clone to become invisible.
Get on in here. They're gonna.
But the Nocturnal happens after He's a professional player, guys. You have to react to that. Like, I understand it's hard, but you cannot die with flash and package up as Corki.
Do they get it? Viper, he's frontlining. He might be able to just scare him. I know he goes down, and now it's up to Doran. Can he do it with the Elder Dragon? Is the only question. As Zeus and Guma, but it just.
The crazy thing here is Peanut steals this.
That ultimate, that was very unfortunate.
Actually, Viper gets it hilariously. Guys, there's the smite. 1200 smite. It's actually owner smite.
That was very unfortunate, and this goes the way. Okay, Viper! Do they get it? Viper, he's frontlining. He might be able to just scare him. I know he goes.
And by the way, imagine if Zeka was alive right
It's
now.
up to Doran. Can he do it with the Elder Dragon? Is the only question.
Faker played super well. Faker played super well, guys. And he makes these, you know, the combo of the Nocturnal on the first one, but the Nocturnal was not on this engage. It was afterwards. It was not coordinated very well by T1.
We'll see if Peanut makes it back to his base, but the Nexus, that one is going to go down. And
But Zeka just reacts very badly.
Here, Viper trying to say.
There was no Nocturnal. Yes, Nico goes invisible when she spits out a clone. But you have to be able to react to that. You have to.
But the bus just would not start anymore. And T1, as a team, they handled it pretty well there at the end. Had to challenge them on the Elder as Viper had to try to frontline with the Elder.
Just a terrible performance.
Just carry the team, put the team on his back, but